Hey, what's up everybody? I am editing this video you're watching right now. Even with these blue light blocking glasses, man, sometimes when you're just staring at a computer screen for hours, you feel it. So back from Colombia, and I gotta say the trip was amazing. I'm editing this video you're watching now. This is gonna be part one of two. I'm doing two videos on Colombia. Our first part of our trip was to Bogota. We were there for about two and a half days, and then the majority of the trip, which we'll see in the follow-up video, is gonna be in Cartagena. Cartagenes. I kind of get crazy with the names here. But I just want to say that this trip almost didn't happen. And for those of you new to my channel, you may or may not know, but I am self-employed. I work for myself. I run a podcast and I run a coaching and consulting business. And right before this trip, I had been in probably the lowest, I'd say 45 to 60 days of my business all year. And we have a lot of other life things happening. Stay tuned, we may be moving again. We just moved to California. But just to give you some insight into the world of entrepreneurship, the world of perseverance, and just really staying true to what you believe in, it would have been very easy for me to not go on this trip. Actually, my wife and I we talked about not going. We talked about just biting the bullet of the airfare and the hotel. We had already sunk almost about $1,800 into this trip, and we were weighing the pros and cons of just eating that cost and not spending any more money. But then, as true to this world of working for yourself, I went from really worrying to being completely set up. And thank you to the podcast sponsors. Thank you to our clientele at Everford Radio and Everford Coach. We literally the week before this trip had my strongest week of the year. We launched some programs and we basically just set up the business for all of 2019. So I am very, very grateful. Many blessings. And so it made the trip much more worthwhile and very much needed. It was a long year, like you'll see in the intro here, and this vacation was much needed. So thank you all to everyone who has been a part of my journey. Thank you to you watching this video right now. Thank you for helping make this trip possible. So I'll stop talking. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and here is Bogota, Colombia. So what better way to kick off the video than cheers?
Okay.
Yeah. This is the water. I'm having a brute, but vacation starts today. We're leaving for Colombia. It's been a long year, a long, hard year, and we're wrapping it up with a little bit of fun. So welcome to the video. Next stop is going to be Bogota.
There's this really good place here that has like chicken. It's called KFC.
El Pollo Loco?
Okay. Fuck out of here. We actually had that at the airport. I hadn't had it in years. Taking Spanish in like high school, and I remember, I think it was Spanish 101 maybe, and it was a test, and I was like stuck on this one question, guys, literally for probably 20 minutes, and I would like leave it and come back and leave it and come back because one of the words I was like, I don't know what that means. I couldn't figure it out. And then after like the 9th time of going back and looking at the question, I realized that it was the name Guillermo, but spelled out is like Guillermo.
Yeah.
And I'm saying Guillermo in my head, and I'm like, what the fuck is that?
So I guess now's as good a time as any. Welcome to the video. No, we already did the intro. We cheers in the airport. All right, welcome officially to Bogota. And I'm gonna let the man, the myth, the legend himself tell you why.
We are here to...
Felipe, why are we here?
Only speak in Spanish.
We're here to try the local product and see the local talent. And while we're at it, visit family and do some touristy things.
Oh, there you go. A little bit of innocence.
A little bit
Mixed
of
in.
innocence.
Is it like dating a Colombian?
Well,
Is it just like moist sea life every day?
moisty. Yeah,
Moisty.
every day, moisty. Very spicy.
Yeah. How long have we been looking forward to this trip?
Like 6 months.
Yeah. Do you have any like birthday surprises planned for him?
Well, no. Well, you're giving him a lap dance. That's scheduled for our boat ride.
That's very true. That's very true.
yeah.
That's very true. Any of our friends, it's a
Yeah.
guaranteed birthday lap dance for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, stay tuned. This video is gonna have it's gonna be lots of like travel, just scenarios, lots of transitions, but mostly just me and Kim being
Yeah.
the most white we
Most
can
white.
be. Yeah.
You know where that
Muy blanco, la flama blanca. One thing the city had no shortage of was amazing restaurants. We popped in everywhere we saw for a dish, a snack, a meal, or even the local brewery. It's gonna be a great show. This is the porter, that's the blonde. This is the roja. Bogota Beer Company was very impressive. We had a couple flights, and then I'm pretty sure we each got a pint of our favorite brew. After that, we began to talk about what we love most about the city here and plan out the rest of our days in Bogota. It was time for a quick wardrobe change. The sun was setting, it was getting colder, and so we headed back to our room to change before heading back into Old Town. Old Town Bogota was like stepping back in time. The streets were smaller, busier, everything was just full of color. Still having the city in sights, we were transplanted back in time into a much more Gothic era. The sun was setting here in the Central Plaza, Plaza de Bolivar. Everywhere we went was just full of art and music and people. La Bruja. Hands down one of my favorite places we visited in Colombia. I would even say one of the top 5 bars I've ever been to in the world. A very old school witch theme. The food, the drinks, everything had a science, a mystery, a magic to it. We headed downstairs where the place was empty. The service was amazing, the drinks were better, the experience was unparalleled. Everything they did had a story tied to it. It was a work of art. It was magic, it was science, all rolled up into one. Our second day in Bogota, we found ourselves back in Old Town, eating tamales the size of small children. Felipe, the birthday boy, is half Colombian. He had a lot of family members in the country, and so we met up with them for some authentic cuisine. Hands down, some of the best food I probably have ever had in my entire life. All right, second day here in Bogota. We are just wrapping up lunch. Had an amazing traditional dish. I forgot what Felipe said it was called, but basically it was just games, Spanish games. Now we're heading up to the top of the mountain. You can probably see it behind me. So next views are going to be the cable car ride up, and then all of Bogota from the top. Kim, what are your thoughts on Bogota so far?
Es muy bonita.
I'll translate. It's amazing. It's probably one of the most beautiful places I've ever been to in my entire life. The travels I have gone on in my short years on Earth have never surmounted to the beauty and glory of Bogota.
Yeah, that's exactly actually what I was thinking.
Yeah, I'm a learned scholar. I used to be a linguist.
Sure. I'm just looking for some chocolate. That's
Coca?
really what I want.
Dame más cocaína. No.
Cocaine.
Kim can never be casual. As the sun began to set at the top of the mountain, overlooking the entire city of Bogota, we enjoyed the culture, the people, the shops, the old world feel in the ruins. Enjoying time together, the four of us began to wrap up the day. Luckily, we're able to do so over a good piece of cake and a cup of coffee. Wrapped up the evening here and then even watched the sunset inside while finishing off a bottle or two of their local red wine. So I'm going to wrap up the video here. We are atop, what's Monserrate? I can't remember the name. No, what's the name of this mountain? This mountain? Montserrat. So we are at the top of Montserrat. We're at the top of Montserrat. Been walking around little shops and some great scenic spots to get a view of the entire city. And we just ordered some cake, some coffee. I'll probably wrap up the video here. Been 2 days in Bogota. We fly out tomorrow to Cartagena. So we've been up the mountains in the city past 2 days, and the rest of the trip is all beach chilling. So I'm gonna split this up in 2 videos. This was Bogota, Colombia.